Hello everyone, the Aluan family is now back for another educational vlog. From the previous video of learning about London and its amazing features and the history of how it started, we are now back to be introducing about the London Underground Railway services that I have said that we might be doing in the previous one. If you haven't seen the one that we made about London and its history, please go check it out, as you will know more about our journey, about talking about London and all those sort of stuff. But anyways, anything to say before we start?
So again, this is another part of educational blog about London. So Jaiden, you can start your blog now. What you can say about the underground?
Okay, so the London Underground Railway is the first ever railway to be invented. It is around London, and which is invented going all the way back to 1863. As a way of reducing street congestion, it was soon followed to be a related railway, but these fell out to be rivals more than partners. And initially, these early railway networks used steam trains. Also, they would make something by digging a long trench, and then they would have to, with the railways, they have to keep lay track covering it all over and over again. But London Underground has made a very big impact, and I think they made like a project, because like in London we have like the London ultra low emission zone. So it's like, I feel like it's trying to encourage people not to use cars, because it like pollutes London, because like they give up gas, unlike the trains and the buses. But we're mainly going to be talking about trains. I don't think we're going to have information about buses, but
That will be for your next
maybe.
Educational blog.
But anyways, London Underground has about 15 lines, which is, I'm not sure how to explain lines, but anyways, those 14 to 15 lines, they are Bakerloo, which is the colour brown, Central, which is the colour red, Circle, which is yellow, District, which is green. There is Elizabeth Line, which is like a navy royal blue.
Purple.
Purple, thank you for contributing in the educational vlog.
Smith in City Line, color.
Pink.
Mom's favorite.
Pink.
Color.
We have the Jubilee Line, which is grey. We have the Metropolitan Line,
The first
violet.
here in London, Metropolitan Line.
We have the Northern Line, which is black.
Yeah.
The Piccadilly Line, which I take the most, is dark blue. And then there is Trams, which is light green, Victoria, which is light blue, and then Waterloo and City, which is like a kind of turquoise. And then I'm just gonna go on to the facts, because like, what's an educational vlog without facts?
But before that, so the first line that's been built was the Metropolitan,
London.
I was
right?
gonna say that for
And
the
the
facts, but
recent
okay.
the recent one is the Elizabeth Line, right?
Yeah.
So the underground train invented here in London.
So the
Yeah.
first
It was
amongst
created in May
all
24,
over the world.
2022.
It's the London Underground.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, about the
That's
facts.
good.
My mom gladly took
Greatest
over to
people.
contribute, and so did my dad. So, like as she said, the Metropolitan Line is the oldest line, but however, it is also the fastest line, going about maybe like 40 miles per hour or more than that, I feel like. The slowest line is the Circle Line, which goes about 27 miles per hour. Disappointing, but not really, but like it's normal for a train. And I think I experienced Circle Line before, and it really isn't that bad. It's clean, you know. Anyways, the youngest line to be ever invented was actually the Jubilee Line. We didn't count like the Overground and the trams and the Elizabeth Line, but if we included the Elizabeth Line, well, yes, Elizabeth Line is the oldest one.
The latest. Elizabeth is the latest. Yeah.
Jubilee is going from 1979. Central Line gives like the longest distance, and District Line has about a total of 60 stations. But shocked to say that it isn't the biggest or longest line ever. But anyways, going on to the other fact, because like yeah, which is not really about the lines. It's about like the whole London Underground. As I said, it's the oldest underground rail network, but it is also the third most busiest the underground railway network, just going after the Paris's railway network and Moscow in Russia. Also, the deepest station in the London Underground is Hampstead, just Hampstead, which is about 58 meters deep. I actually find that shocking, though, not gonna lie. But as a person who goes to competitions and runs about 80 meters, it's not that deep, to be honest. But I haven't experienced myself going to Hampstead. I only experienced going to Hampstead Heath, which is about 58 meters deep and 64 yards deep. The newest station, I believe, is Nine Elms in the Northern Line, I think, which was created in about 2021 September, I think. Also, I just forgot to mention that there are about 272 stations in the Underground Railway network.
Central London. Is it in Central London?
Not all of the stations are in Central London. Looking forward to Aylesbury, like me and my mum, we went there so we can, from Bridlington, which is about 9 hours away.
Okay.
But anyways, that was pretty far. We have, Battersea is in London. We have Cockfosters in Enfield or something like that. Also helped to build the London Underground Railway at a sufficient depth to avoid interference with buildings, and also utility works. For example, there's underground and overground. Not really much of a difference, not that special. Overground is basically just above, and then underground is below. Not all underground is underground, because some stations may be Hunter Central, but mostly in central London, all of the stations will be underground, maybe in a tunnel, maybe from Piccadilly line, I can say South Kensington, Knightsbridge, Piccadilly Circus, all those type of stuff. So we're gonna explain the important parts of the lines, and for example the Bakerloo. We're gonna explain the simple features that you might need to know about the lines. So we're going from alphabetical order, starting with Bakerloo line. Bakerloo line has exactly 25 stations, and it stretches from Harrow all the way to Elephant Castle. The line is about 23.2 kilometers long, and this line was opened or invented in 1906. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that is pretty old. The next line we have is Central Line. As I told you, it is the longest line. Central Line has a total of 49 stations, even though it's the longest line, so I'm pretty shocked. There are two endings and openings in the Central Line. So we have West Ruislip, and Ealing Broadway, going all the way to Epping, which I don't think is a part of London, to be honest.
So
Next,
that direction is from west to east.
west
The Bakerloo
to
line is from south to north.
Anyways, we're gonna move on to the slowest line, the Circle Line, which goes 27.2 miles per hour. The Circle Line has an exact amount of 36 stations. It travels from Hammersmith in Fulham all the way to Edgware. I think there are two Edgwares, one in the Northern Line and one in the Circle Line. The Circle Line also goes in a loop, so I think that's why it's called Circle. The Circle Line is 27 kilometers long, and it opened in 1863 to 1884. Next, we have the District Line with the most stations. I think I already told you. I think I'm mistaken it when I said 64 stations. It's actually 60 stations. It stretches from Ealing Broadway all the way to Buckingham. Ealing Broadway all the way to Upminster, which is not in London. I think it reaches to the borough Havering, which is the most eastern, kind of borough. It is exactly 64 kilometers long, and it was invented in 1868, which is, I think, one of the oldest lines. Mostly, like, lots of the lines were invented when, like, near in the 18th century or the 18th period. Next on the list, I believe we have Elizabeth Line, which has about 41 stations. It stretches from Ealing Broadway all the way to Upminster, which is not in London. I think it reaches to the borough of Havering, which is the most, like, eastern, kind of borough. It is exactly 64 kilometers long, and it was invented in 1868, which is, I think, one of the oldest lines. Mostly, like, lots of the lines were invented when, like, near in the 18th century. Next on the list, I believe we have Elizabeth Line, which has about 41 stations. It stretches from Heathrow all the way to Shenfield and Abbeywood. I went to Heathrow Airport before, and I live near there, in fact. It is about 117 kilometers long. They counted Reading as well, but personally, I don't think it's Reading and all the way from Slough is part of the Elizabeth Line, because that was originally part of the TfL Rail. But then I realised that the TfL Rail is basically all the stations. Anyways, looking on. Oh yeah, and also I forgot to tell you that it's also the youngest line.
So Elizabeth is the latest invented line.
The latest line. Next we have the DLR line, which is from Lewisham and Bank all the way to Stratford International Station. Next we have the Hammersmith and City line, which only has 29 stations, but I'm still shocked that it goes from Hammersmith all the way to Barking. It was opened in about 1864 and is about 29 kilometers long. Yeah, that's pretty much. Anyways, we have the Jubilee line. Jubilee line has exactly 27 stations, stretching from Stanmore in the west all the way to Stratford in the east. It was opened in about 1979 and is 36 kilometers long. I'm not going to lie to you, I expected more from that. Anyways, the Metropolitan line from Aylesbury, in fact. So the Metropolitan line has exactly 39 stations from, I believe, Amersham or Aylesbury all the way to Aldgate in central London. It is 67 kilometers wide or long and was opened in 1863, which is the oldest line, I just realised as well. Next, we have the Northern line. The Northern line has exactly 52 stations, which is from north to south, Barnet in the north, which is also a London borough, and then Morden all the way in the south, near Croydon, I believe. It is about 58 kilometers long, and it was opened in 1890. Next, we have the Overground, which has exactly 112 stations, because the Overground has multiple of routes from maybe Acton Central, from Croydon, from Chingford, something like that. It is 86 kilometers long, and it's one of the newest ones, which opened in 2007. Next, we have the Piccadilly line, which I take often from going to school at home. So it has about 53 stations, all the way from Cockfosters and Oxbridge all the way to Heathrow Airport. It is 73 kilometers long, and it opened in 1906. Next, we have the Trams line. It's not really underground, it's just like a bus that's like on the road. It has exactly 39 stations, and we have Wimbledon and Buckingham to New Addington. It is 28 kilometers long, and it opened in 2000. Next, we have the Victoria line. The Victoria line has only 16 stations. I expected.
16.
Yeah, I'm still shocked. From Walthamstow to Brixton. It is about 21 kilometers long, and it opened in 1968. Sorry, I also forgot to introduce Waterloo and City line, the shortest line on the London Underground. It only has 2 stations, going from Waterloo to Bank, which is a 2-mile gap. It is, 2.37 kilometers, and it opened in 1898. So anyways, I want to tell my experience. I'm not gonna lie to you, there's a lot to look forward to with the trains, and there's a lot of history behind it. Building the stations, how it was made, what materials, the looks of the stations, and the lines that are included. The train features are very good, but for some, the cons, Piccadilly line doesn't have air conditioning. Nearly all lines have air conditioning, in fact, but I'm kind of disappointed. I'm glad that every line runs from Central, which gives them a great opportunity to go to Central London to explore the amazing landmarks. There's all those kinds of line trips take you to a certain amount of places, and it's not just buses that do the job. It's not that taxis that just do the job. But I feel like trains also give like a very big opportunity to not like put a lot of gas, because what would London be if there were no trains? You never know. London will be overpopulated with the cars.
And it's quicker to travel.
Yeah.
From one place to another.
Anyways, continuing from that, the lines, the trains, it's all good. The color mixtures, everything. It's just amazing. They provide even maps and maps that you can bring. They even provide a TfL Rail app that can guide you to where you're going. But I think it's the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Lastly, we just want to give a few shout outs. The first one is to Anime World 22222. Thank you so much for showing all the support, commenting on our videos. Next shout out is to Catherine Rabarar. Thank you so much for the non-stop support, everyone. Thank you so much for watching our video, helping us to grow our YouTube channel. We thank you all so much. You know who you are. Yeah, bye from me.
And thank you once again for your support for Jaiden Aluan Londoners. I hope you learned something from Jaiden's blog today. And looking forward for another blog about London. So again, thank you very much. Stay safe and God bless.
As my mum said, we might.
See ya.
The next vlog might be about buses. But anyways, see you in the next educational vlog, or in the next short, or in the next video. Have an amazing summer. God bless you. Have a good day. Bye.